This tutorial is on FUQs, frequently unanswered questions. When you're writing an FAQ page, first answer the question, then explain if you must. Most prospects and customers could be excused for giving up on a lot of the FAQ pages I see on websites and brochures, because too often the answers have the greasy evasiveness of a politician at a hostile press conference. Your FAQs are a wonderful way to get your prospects to buy and to keep your customers on side, but only if you follow these three golden rules. And the first one is the questions must be genuine. Too many FAQs are made-up squibs designed to open the door for a marketing message. Now, what prospects and customers want to see on your FAQ page are real answers to real questions they want to ask your company. And just as the questions must be genuine, the answers must be straightforward. Yes/no questions should be answered yes or no. Questions of how many or how much should be answered with a number. All questions should be answered directly in the first sentence, using as few words as possible. And the third golden rule for FAQs is this: no answers are better than evasive answers. If your lawyers won't let you give straightforward answers to genuine questions, you're better off without the FAQs. The organization's time and money would be more profitably invested in fixing the problems than in trying to weasel your way out of admitting them. Now, here is a typically wordy and fuzzy FAQ. It's from the website of the Thomson Reuters EndNote product. This is an application for managing footnotes and bibliographies, which is widely used by academics and university students. And it goes like this: how many computers can I install my single user edition on? Answer: the individual end-user license agreement allows a single license holder to install EndNote on up to 3 of his/her computers. This assumes that the license holder is the only person using EndNote on these computers. An example of this arrangement is a license holder who has a work computer, a laptop for off-site use, and a home computer. Note the single user edition is sold for Mac OS computers or Windows computers separately. Contact the Thomson Reuters sales team for special pricing on an alternative operating system license. And the answer alone is 88 words. Now, I've explained to you that the target market here are university students and their professors. So the first thing we should really do is clean up the grammar in the question. This is what is known as a dangling preposition. The preposition on is stuck onto the end of that sentence, and in formal grammar that is a no-no. And in fact, many university websites state specifically to their students and academics that they are not to let their prepositions dangle on the ends of sentences, or clauses for that matter. And the fix is easy. You just cut it off the end of the sentence and stick it on the beginning. On how many computers can I install my single user edition? Now look at the first sentence of the answer. I calculated it. It is 85.714% redundant. I'll highlight in bold and purple the redundant phrases. By redundant, what I mean is, look at the question: on how many computers can I install my single user edition? Well, the individual end user allows a single. That's all merely repeating the question, isn't it? It is access to our requirements. And of his/her computers is in the question also, only it's personal. It's me instead of his/her. So out it goes. And in fact, out of all those words, the only ones that really answer the question are these ones, up to 3. And that is, in fact, the answer to the question. But I would even say, since 3 is such a small number, saying up to 3 is a bit silly, so we just go 3 because that's the actual numerical answer to the question. Then we have this one. This assumes that the license holder is the only person using EndNote on these computers. Well, if we're saying, how many can I use as a single user, that pretty much means the same thing, doesn't it? Yes, it does. The entire sentence is redundant. Then we have this, an example of what we mean. An example of this arrangement is a license holder who has a work computer, a laptop for off-site use, and a home computer. Well, the question has been asked by a single reader of this FAQ page, and that reader knows precisely and exactly how many computers he or she has and exactly where they're located. So he or she do not need the hypothetical. Now we come to the real information in this answer. Note that the single user edition is sold for Mac OS computers or Windows computers separately. Contact the Thomson Reuters sales team for special pricing on an alternative operating system license. Now, I have a problem with alternative. It should be fairly easy for you to see from the context here that what they're saying is, and it makes sense, if of the 3 computers you have, 2 of them are running Windows and 1 is a Mac, then you're going to have 2 separate copies of EndNote. But we're going to do you a deal. So that's the message that's being transmitted here. And the question is it being transmitted as cleanly as it possibly could be? And I think, no. First of all, this note let's see, I think we could say the Mac OS and Windows editions, because that's what we're talking about, edition, are sold separately. So if you have both systems, contact the Thomson Reuters sales team for special pricing. End of story. And now we have an answer of only 25 words that is straightforward, honest, and to the point.